Well, hello 3D printer fans. As of most of you, I've been waiting for the Guardians of the Galaxies 2 to come out. So, this is a video on how to print a little baby Groot. So, this is the baby Groot printed on my printer, and it took 2 hours. It does come in 2 parts. The head is separate, but since I half-scaled it, the tolerances are a bunch less. And I also did a horizontal expansion of a -0.2, and that allowed it to fit in pretty snugly. I had to do a little bit of sanding, so I would recommend, if you're going to half scale it, to do even more vertical decretion, not expansion, because we're shrinking it. Now, when we shrink this model, we lose a little bit of the quality. Well, gains in HDness, but this is a nice little Groot. So let's go into the video on how to make it. Okay, now that we've opened Cura and imported the body, as you can see, he's not in a very good position right here. This will print terrible. This thing will look god awful if we printed it like this. There would be so much support material. So the first thing we gotta do is rotate him so he's the right direction. Now, for recording purposes, I have to also rotate him 180 degrees so he's facing the other way. Oh, now I don't even know which way I'm facing. Well, this is gonna be interesting. Okay, I don't think I turned him at all. So I'm gonna turn him 180 degrees. There we go. And now I don't feel like waiting. I don't know how long this. I don't feel like waiting like 16 hours. So I am gonna downscale him 50%. So I don't gotta wait hours. So 50%. Now he's gonna be a little Groot. A little baby Groot. Kind of, I've already printed one, so we can get the perfect settings. This is right here, a little baby one. Real small, but now that he's centered, now it's time for the settings. So, some of the first settings we want to look at is layer height. If I wanted a high quality one, I'd put that at 0.1, but I'm not looking for a high quality prop. He doesn't even look that bad. So, and then for the horizontal expansion, we want this one to be at 0. Make sure that is at 0. You probably don't have that setting yet, but, and then for density infill, we also have to make sure to set that to 25%. And we also want to set the printing temperature to 200 for PLA, and yeah, I should know what the recommended thing is. I've made a couple videos. So 60, your filament size, your flow rates, enable retraction. This is an important one for this model, because these arms, they're gonna look really, really bad if you don't have retraction on. That would be an issue if you didn't have the retraction on. There will be strings across everything. And then I'm going to do all at once. I didn't have any adhesion on, and that worked fine. The only hiccup it had, and for this one, you don't really want a brim unless you want to clean this thing for hours, because the brim will suck between the fingers. It'll get all stuck. So you don't really want a brim on this one, but if you have to have a brim, you have to have a brim, so I wouldn't get too hung up on it. And then we would save that to the SD card and then export it. Okay. Try to fit this in here. Okay. Now, since we got all this thing saved and everything, we're going to delete the body after we turn it to G-code, of course, and then we're gonna go and get the head with the brim. Now, when this thing imports, it's gonna take a little bit of time. My computer's being really slow today for some reason. I gotta get some water. Now, this thing is also imported in a not so good orientation. So the first thing we want to do is flip it so it's the right way. Now this thing does not need any support material at all. Don't even bother with it, because it's just the right amount of slopes. The support material actually might take down quality, because support material sometimes gives bubbles. If you need to add support material, you need to add it. But okay, now we also need to set this thing to 50% size so it will fit the mini body. You don't want this big fat head, a little tiny head. And then we'll set this at the same exact settings, but we want horizontal expansion right here, right here. You want that. No, the negative 0.1 was not enough. It was a little bit too big, so I'm going to set it to negative 1.5. Now you might want to play around with this and see what the perfect size is. Personally, I just sanded it, and the 0.1 was perfect. Well, not perfect. It took a little bit of work, but it worked out. It didn't take all that much. Same exact settings for this thing. Now all we need is to save this thing, and we'll be going to time lapse. So pretty much we have this baby Groot ready to print. Here we go. Time for the time lapse. Okay guys, now that the time lapse is done, you can see this little baby Groot. I was showing you it earlier, but it does have high detail. It doesn't take all that much time to print. Well, it takes like 2 hours, but this thing is ready for the movies. It's a little gift for anyone who's really into the Guardians of the Galaxies. You can also give it to like a little sibling or someone who really likes the movie. Be sure to check out my other videos and like, subscribe, unlike. You can dislike if you want. It's all up to you. You watched the video, so I'm assuming if you're this far, you could probably like it. Could have absolutely hated it though. I don't know. But remember, I had the TiVo printer, and I forgot where the model came from, but you can check down in the description along with the, if I can find the original song owners, the time-lapse songs. I know I haven't been posting them in the description, but I can't find them. I've had those songs for a few years. I know the titles of them, so I might be able to find them from that. But I believe I got them from SoundCloud, and it was usage rights for time lapses and stuff. So if you like this video, just watch a new one. We'll have a couple.